Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at GR-16, which has just been updated with AUv3 and also the ability to multi-out, which is superb. So hello to everyone that's here. Hi Joe. No, Joe, she hasn't yet, but I'll get her to do it later, but she really said she enjoyed them. So right, okay, GR-16, first of all, when you go to open an audio unit in AUM or wherever, you go here and you got audio unit extension. And then what will happen is there will be two GR-16s. So if I searched here for Gym Audio, you see there's GR-16 multi-out and then the ordinary standalone GR-16, which can also be an AUv3 as well. So that's very, very cool. We want the multi-out GR-16 like this, done. And the very first thing I'm going to do is have my MIDI keyboard plugged into this. You don't need to use a MIDI keyboard, but I'm going to. So for the sake of speed, I am going to just hit this and choose my Arturia key step 37. And then if we go into the MIDI routings here, you don't need to worry about any of this neither. You'll see that you have 16 channels of GR-16 now, which you can route basically anywhere you like if you have various MIDI controllers, etc., etc. Anyway, so what we want to do is we're going to create, for the sake of speed, maybe 4 or 5 channels, but we can obviously have up to 16. Okay, so there's the thing. So the first thing we want to do is tap on here and go down to multi-bus audio unit instances, not audio unit extension, multi-bus audio unit instances. Hit this, and since this is the only multi-bus audio unit available, it'll be the only one there. But if you had more, like the Bleece ones or Schlap or anything else that supports multi-bus out, they'd also be there as well. We're going to just choose this one, and I'm going to do the same for all the other 4 as well. So it just needs to do this, and also this, and we could do up to 16. That's the point. Okay, so if we open up GR-16, it will open up as a default patch. I'm going to hit this, and then I'm going to go to user 3. So I'm going to be using user 3 because there's nothing in any of these. So we'll just start with a completely blank slate. So you should learn a little bit about GR-16 as well, how to import sounds, how to copy, paste, save patterns, etc. So you can build up an entire track. We're going to choose 128 init. So we're going to choose this initialized patch. And an initialized patch in GR-16 has all these oscillators and they're all empty. And it has a few drums in here that you can start to work with. Okay, so first of all, if you press play on either the transport or this, it'll work. And all GR-16 default templates are this 4 on the floor. You might as well just consider that to be a metronome. Okay, but if you want something else as a metronome, like this hi-hat, for example, you can record that in super easy. All you need to do is hit play. You'll see it's only on 1 bar. It's just counting over 1 bar. We can have up to 8 bars, but you'll see it's just got this bar 1 here. Let's just record those hi-hats in as well. Okay, so let's go. And now we've recorded our hi-hat over that kick. Right, so if we go to mixer, now we could play and we could turn down the hi-hats via the mixer. I'm just going to use my pen. Make sure it's turned on. So you'll be able to see what I'm doing easier. Okay. Exit from mixer and then press the stop on a transport or the transport in AUM. Doesn't really matter. Right, okay, here's the thing. Let's route some of these instruments to other channels. Now, how you do that is I'm going to route my kick. I'm going to leave it in channel 1. it's already there. The snare, I'm going to have the snare going to this one here. Now at the moment it's not. Okay, so if we play, you'll see no other interaction between any of these other channels, only this one. So what we want to do is go into GR-16, go to mixer like this, and then our snare channel here, which is channel 10, it goes 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the oscillators are our 1 to 8, the other way around sort of thing, but it's still a 16 channel mixer. Okay, all you need to do is choose snare and hit master, and the first thing it will do is route that to the second channel. Now, okay, here's the other thing as well. You can route the snare anywhere you like on your 16 output channels. All you need to do is tap it again, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it'll go back to master. And then if you go over to your, I don't know why I'm not getting 16 here, but there you go. But that's how you route it. So I'm going to route this one to number 2. Okay. So now if I put some snare in, so let's play our pattern. In fact, I'll just exit me mixer. This snare now will be routed to number 2. See? And then we could put, like, say, that's a bit quiet. Let's put a slap compressor on it, which is a new compressor from Colin Audio. And let's choose a factory patch here. So maybe some, actually, I will. And then I'll drag up the output. And then we could also put on maybe some reverb. I don't like that. Maybe some reverb. I'm going to put a gain on here. And then we could put some black hole. So we can carry on now. So say, for instance, our hi-hat is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's route the hi-hat to that 5th channel. Okay, so yes, please strike the like. So we're going to take this hi-hat here, go to our mixer, and here it is, hi-hat, and I'm just going to go 2, 3, 4, 5. So I might need to add another channel. No, there it is. So and we've got so on these two, so we've got a basic kick and snare. On these two, I'm going to apply some instruments. Okay. Here's where this gets really cool. Let's exit mixer as well. So the oscillators along the top are where you're going to be putting instruments. You can put them anywhere. You're not locked into having the drums on this bottom level. You can have them on the top or swap them around. This is literally just the way Jim's arranged the app. Okay, so it's entirely up to you what you do with it later. Let's choose this. We want a bass sound on here. Okay, so the bass at the moment, it literally is just this. If we hit wave here where it says oscillator, it is just a saw wave. And we can change it to a pulse, a triangle, a sine plus FM, super saw. And you also have, I mean, you have an awful lot of these, by the way, an awful lot of different waveforms, but you also have a wave table. So you also have kicks, loads and loads and loads of kicks. So we could change that kick out. Let's change that kick out, shall we? Let's have that kick on there. Let's go back to this oscillator. You don't need to save it or anything, it'll just remember. So let's go to, say, we've got vocals and we've got instruments as well. So grand piano, Rhodes. But you also have preset. Now in preset, there are 3 banks of factory grooves and stuff like that. So bank A, so let's choose that. So that's done. Okay. So now we've got this new kick, this new bass. Let's just exit this for a second, yeah? Press exit. At this point now, you'll see next to a knit is this little asterisk, right? Let's change the name of this pattern. But first of all, we'll hit right so that asterisk disappears. It won't disappear until I actually rename it, but it's put it into a bracket. So I'm going to hit shift and right and then rename pattern and call it the, I don't know, I'm going to call it Pluto 1 for no reason whatsoever. Pluto 1. I'm going to hit right again just to be on the safe side. So now in Pluto 1 we have. Now I would suggest it's a good idea to set up your sounds before you start to make a track. Okay. So I'm going to put another sound in here and then we'll have our 5 tracks moved up. So in this sound, I'm just going to put, there's a nice guitar sound that I like. So I'm going to choose this like this. And I'm going to go to my wave. So make sure I'm selected on part 2. And I'm going to go to preset and I'm going to go to bank A like this. And I'm going to go and find, let's see. I'm sure it's in bank A. What I want, there's a guitar sound somewhere. I'm going to put, if I want to play this with my MIDI keyboard, I'm just going to put it onto keys. So let's see what we're going to send this one to number 4. So remember, we go to our mixer and where it says I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going to be going to number 4 now. So if I take this out and so now I've got that guitar in there. I have my kick in this first one. See? And then the hi-hat is here. And we still have one spare for number 3. So I'll show you another cool way you can transfer sounds around. I'm going to go back to Groove Rider. You can go to any of these Groove Riders, by the way. So number 3 here. I'm going to go to my trigger mode, which is again another thing. Now I'm going to hit right because I've made adjustments, but I'm still on Pluto 1. Let's say I like another sound. Let's hold this and go to say bank B. I don't know. These are all Jim's sounds, right? We can put them in and we can play them. say for instance, you found a track and you really like one of the sounds. This sound, for instance, that's a sequenced sound. So I need to try another sound. So that sound, I'm just going to pick it because it's there. Oh, maybe we could try another sound. See this string sound that's been used. So go back to this one, I think. Or maybe let's see if I can find one I like better. I mean, there's literally tons and tons of sound. That pluck sound might be nice. So say I like that sound and I want to get that sound into my track without having to go through all the, stuff with the presets and things like that. I like that sound. I'm going to put that sound onto oscillator 3 into my track. All I need to do is hit copy, and you'll see it'll say part and pattern copied. That's fine. That's all you need to do. Like a sound, hit copy. Go to where yours is. We know it's in user 3. We know it's Pluto 1. Select this. So actually, go back to make sure you're on trigger mode. So there's our bass, there's our guitar. I want to put that sound there. You'll see copies highlighted. Hit copy again and just go paste part sound. And there's our sound, right? Go to our mixer. There's our sound. Go to master. What did we say we want it in? 1, 2, part 3. So 1, 3. So we've got 1, which is the kick, 2, which is the snare. This one on number 5, I can't remember what it is, probably the hi-hats. Then we've got number 3 or 4, which is the guitar, and 3, which is this new sound now. So now we have a pattern, which is 1 bar long, playing a bass, kick, and a snare. Let's make that pattern longer, just because we can. We go to enter now, and we go to where it says part, pattern, utilities, and settings. Go to pattern, and you'll see it says, the very first thing it says is, it tells us the name of the pattern, it tells us the BPM. Ignore the BPM because it's taking the BPM from the host because it's running as an AUv3. Okay, so length 1 bar. Just tap this and we can have up to 8 bars. Well, let's change this to 4 bars. Okay, and then we can just exit that and exit. So now you'll see a little asterisk has appeared. Press right, and that's done. Let's see what happens when we play now across our 4 bars. See it tracking across the top. What it's done is intelligently paste that 1 bar we had over all 4 bars. Okay. Now erasing anything you do is also really easy, but and we do that in another tutorial. Let's make sure we're on trigger. And let's add some variation to that basic kick and snare that runs over its 4 bars. Okay, so let's say for instance like this. Something like that. So let's just hit record. Let's go. Hit record now. And now we've made them adjustments, we can stop that. Now it's put that other hi-hat in there, but that's not routed anywhere, so that is also going through number 1. So this kick and that hi-hat, we haven't routed that anywhere because that's a 6th instrument. So we could add another channel and put that in as well. We won't, we'll just do it as it is. Okay, so again, a little asterisk, hit right, pattern saved. Now what we want to do is we want to copy that pattern. Okay, now let me see if I can remember how to do this, because there's a lot to remember here. There's a lot to remember. Right, so all we need to do is hit right. Oh no, pattern save. Hit copy. Right, hit shift and right. That's what you do. So here's what you do. If you want an exact replica of the pattern you've got, this is important. This is really important. If you want an exact replica of this pattern onto another pattern, you hold shift and right. And all you need to do is hit save to new. You don't know if you can see that. Let me just see if I can make that a bit darker. You'll see there it says save to new. Tap that and it's done. Tap this and you'll see you've got 2 copies now. You've got user 1, U28, Pluto 1, and U129, user 129, Pluto 1 also. This is where you want to be going shift and right, rename pattern, Pluto 2, okay. And you'll see that it still says Pluto 1. Exit. Oh, what have I done now? And right, if I'm going to look, because I went on to another pattern, this is, God, it's a pain. Right, okay, so I'm going to enter this Pluto 1, shift right, rename pattern, Pluto 2, okay, exit, it says Pluto 2, and now you just want to hit right, and that is saved. And when you go back in, you've got Pluto 1 and Pluto 2. But now with Pluto 2, we can start to make further additions. So let's say, for instance, let's choose this bass sound and go on to keys. And it's still going to be 4 bars. So let's record that, shall we? Let's go back. So I'll just let it run round, because it'll just continually overdub anyway. So 2, 3, 4. Cool beans. Press exit and you'll see a little asterisk. Hit right, pattern is saved. So now if we go to our first one, okay. Let's do that again. Okay, so shift and right. I'm just going to cancel a copy thing. Shift, right, save to new. Now we've got another one of it, right? Okay, so that's cool. Shift and right, rename this new pattern, back, pattern 3, okay. Still saying Pluto 2, exit, Pluto 3, right, pattern saved. Back in, and we've got 1, 2, and 3. Now you might think all this is long-winded and everything, right? But it's not, because once you have all these patterns built up, you've got like it's super powerful groove right there. You've got so many sounds to choose from. You can send MIDI anywhere you like now, obviously, with it being an AUv3. So now I've got 3 patterns. Let's get onto our trigger mode. There's our new synth sound. Here's our guitar sound. So cool. Let's record that, shall we? Let's wait till it counts round. Stop, little asterisk. Keep saving all the time. Save, right, all the time. Right. Every time you see an asterisk, right, save, right. Yeah, see, it's not as straightforward as it, like, say, if you think, oh, save pattern bang and it's done. But it's not quite that straightforward. It's not quite. This is the 202 engine, Spider. I think maybe that's what you've been talking about. Yeah, this is it's the 202 engine. Now, the thing is, you can apply zillions of effects, etc., etc. I've done absolutely loads of tutorials. You can change the color of the screen. You can do whatever you want. Let's go to settings and we can choose a different colored skin. Maybe this, I don't know, Mars, maybe? It doesn't change the actual sounds or anything, but if you're getting bored with the same color. Now, the thing is, you can also, I won't get into this now because I don't want to confuse things any further, but you can also chain these patterns together, right? So let's see what we've already done. Let's go on to our trigger. We've got another one here, and we added this hi-hat, didn't we, as well? So let's have a listen. There. So if we added another channel, right? We've got 5. Let's add another one. Let's add multiples here. Let's do this. Number 6 there. We could send that hi-hat to number 6. So this hi-hat we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we've sent our new hi-hat to channel 6 here. And there it is, on its own, doing its thing. Which means that you could put flanges and things on it and stuff like that. Right now. We've also got our bass. We've also got our bass going. So let's add another one here. Ding. Number 7. And let's find where our bass is now. Our bass is in channel 1. So, and it's here, channel 1. And we can see that it just says master. It's not going anywhere else other than into the master. So let's put that onto channel 7, shall we? Where was it again? Here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we'll have our bass going into number 7. So what's cool about this is you could set this up in MIDI mixer and you could do all sorts of automated fades, etc., etc. You also have an absolute slew of effects you can use inside Groove Rider. Depending on which. You also have a pretty powerful synth engine. So for what if the sound was this, for instance, you can change. Let's see what it can really do in the hands of a professional. So it's super powerful, super powerful. It just is a bit of a learning curve, and you know you've got to forgive me because I don't use the apps every single day, you know. But when something new comes out, I have to kind of try and get all the memory back. In fact, I actually go and watch some of my old videos. I've done tons of stuff for Groove Rider, tutorials and all sorts of things. The fact that it's now AUv3 is epic. Let's be fair. Making patterns is easy. The muscle memory of saving stuff, it's not difficult, it's just different. So once you've learned, and I have done other tutorials as well on how to do this, saving patterns, copying patterns, etc. If you go back and you watch like the beginning of the video where we did some copying of patterns and stuff like that, it'll soon become apparent. What was also new is, and I don't know, is actually when it was choosing the that's the thing, isn't it? Let's go back to our kind of user 3. This, I didn't put anything in for that, did I? No, it doesn't matter. Actually, let's do it. Let's do it one more time. Let's do a copy and a pattern, and then record some of that in just because we can and we have time. And as long as you're finding this useful, that's very cool. Oh, by the way, tonight's live stream will be a tutorial for Group the Loop, the one I used for last night's live performance. So you'll get an idea of actually how useful that is as well, because Group the Loop is just brilliant. My favorite looper. So we've got our Pluto 3. We're going to make another copy of this. So like I said, you just remember to shift and write and save to new. It doesn't say copy pattern. It doesn't say anything like that. Save to new. That's the thing. Oh, well, well, hopefully you'll like it, Sam. But if you don't, you know, but you'll learn all about it tonight. That's for sure. If you're there, of course, mate. So save to. Were you at last night's live stream? That was all down to Group the Loop. So save to new, and you'll see another Pluto 3 will appear. And again, what we need to do is shift and write and rename pattern. Okay, so obviously we'll call this Pluto 4. Okay. And then you'll see it still says Pluto 3. Oh, I've done it again. Right, I'm going to rename this, right? Rename. If I go off it, I've got to come back on it and do it like this. Otherwise, it thinks I want to rename another pattern. It'll still say Pluto 3, exit. It'll say Pluto 4, hit right, pattern saved. And when you go back in, it'll say Pluto 4. And now we've got a new pattern of Pluto 4, which we can do this with, I suppose. Let's hit erase. I'm just gonna, there's another way to do this which is quicker, but hit right. And of course, you could just carry on adding stuff up, building it up, etc., etc. It's pretty powerful. It really is. And you can have up to 8 bars instead of 4. So 1, 2, 8. 1 to 8. And you can press any of these, it doesn't matter, it'll just open up, there's only one instance running. So there you go. There is how you set up your, well, hello. There is how you set up GR-16. That's weird, isn't it? Why is it doing that? Look, look. There's how you set up GR-16 for multiple out. Just remember that when you choose the actual instrument, you're choosing, I'll show you again. Just make sure that you're choosing the one that actually says GR-16 multi-out. There will be 2. So you can make sure that you choose the right one. So, like I said, in tonight's live stream, we will be doing a tutorial for Group The Loop, which is my personal favorite loop. I find it simple to understand and use. That's why it kind of, the workflow kind of goes, oh yeah, that's obvious. That's what you do. Sort of thing. But today we have been looking at the very cool GR-16. It's always been very cool and much loved. It must take a bit of time to oh, actually maybe it's because right. Brilliant. What I see with loopers is I'm always too late to start and stop record. You don't need to worry about stopping and starting with Group the Loop. Gives you a counting as well if you want one. And it just overdubs. It's great. Do you use Group the Loop with soft synth as well? No, I use it with hardware side. You can use it with Interap audio synths. You can use it with AUv effects, right? But when doing stuff without the matron as the first loop, I'm not sure what that means. We'll look at it tonight, Sam. Anyway, but I think if you run it through audio, but if you use Group the Loop with audio bus or something, you can record your AUv3s in as well, I guess. But it does support AUv3 effects everywhere, all over the place, and it does have some of its own. Meaning jam without tempo. You want Gauss if you want to jam without tempo, mate. It tries to detect the tempo. A Group the Loop tries to detect the tempo you're playing with, but I wouldn't recommend jamming without some sort of tempo to at least start with, or some sort of click track. It also has click tracks, you know. It's not really, that would be very difficult for anybody to kind of just randomly bang something in and then, you know, play along with it. But yeah, you know. In loopy, it grabs the tempo. Yeah, that's right. Well, Group the Loop tries to do that as well. It tries to do that. I don't use it like that, but it does. There is a setting where it just tries to grab the tempo and understand what it's doing. So yeah, AUM is remarkably useful. It's AUM is a reviewer's dream app, mainly because you can have lots and lots of things open. Yeah, well, hopefully you'll find it interesting, Sam, and I think it's marvelous. I do like loopy, but I like Group the Loop better, just for my personal working environment. Guys, thank you very, very much for joining me this afternoon, where we took a look at the new update for Groove Rider GR-16 from Jim Audio. And very good it is too. Very useful. Even if you just wanted to use the instruments in here as a general AU, you can. Now, yeah, so there you go. Top job, cool beans. And I will see you guys later. I'll give you a few minutes to say ta-ra to each other, and then I will see you this evening. Yes. Ta-ra.